Just a warning, what I'm about to talk about is sensitive and may be potentially distressing for some viewers. Hello everyone, Julia here for D News. Crime shows give Americans a skewed view of the justice system. For the most heinous of crimes, evidence abounds and the bad guy is always caught. Yet thousands of victims of sexual assault never get their TV ending. Right now, states across the country keep hundreds of thousands of untested rape kits in storage. Detroit is the most notorious city of late. 5 years ago, 11,000 untested kits were discovered in a warehouse. Since then, only a fraction of those have been tested. Authorities in Detroit are trying to raise $10 million to process and prosecute the rest of their backlog rape kits, so that's good. But what is a rape kit? A rape kit is a forensic tool to collect and preserve DNA and other physical evidence after a sexual assault. In different cities, it goes by different names. In Washington, D.C., they're called a Physical Evidence Recovery Kit, or PERK. In other cities, it's called a Sexual Assault Forensic Evidence, or SAFE kit. No matter what they're called, they contain the same basic tools. A kit can contain a blood sample from the victim, swabs to collect bodily fluids, a comb to collect hair and fiber from clothing, a nail pick to get any evidence under the nail, and storage boxes, bags, and slides to preserve these items. There's usually bigger bags to collect some clothing or material from the victim, and up to 15 envelopes to store the evidence. The collection is part of a hospital exam and should be done within 98 hours of the assault. The collection is done by a trained member of sexual assault response team in a private, secluded part of a hospital. An exam is performed after a victim gives written consent and a thorough medical history. Starting with less invasive collection, swabbing the mouth and getting underneath the fingernails, then collecting hair and fiber samples, moving on to more invasive collection, photographing any injuries, and swabbing the genitalia and anal area, which can be very emotionally trying for a victim. During the exam, a doctor can test for sexually transmitted infections as well as provide emergency contraception. The whole process can take a few hours. While difficult, collecting the evidence is worth it. Rape kits can confirm a victim's report, identify an unknown perpetrator, or identify a serial offender, and can even clear innocent suspects. For thousands of kits to go untested is more than just shameful. It's a huge disservice to victims of sexual assault everywhere. Small police budgets and a false belief that testing was only beneficial in cases where the rapist was a stranger kept kits on the shelf. But there is hope. Many cities across the nation are racing to get rape kits out of storage and processed. For example, in San Francisco, a kit must be sent to a crime lab within 72 hours of collection, and information uploaded to a national database within 2 weeks. And across the country, other states have enacted legislation to reform the process of their kits. For more information on the backlog of rape kits, and for more information on sexual assault, check out some of the links we have below in the description. So should states be doing more to process the backlog of rape kits? More legislation? Better technology? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to more D News for more science every day.